Hi, my name is Julio Rivera. I'm an activist, journalist, adventurer, veteran, television presenter, and businessman. I've covered many of the major historical events going on around the world over the past several years, and after watching regime changes, conflict, and historic elections globally, I've come to the conclusion that the most underreported crisis in the world today can be defined in only one word: malware. That's why I've decided to dedicate my time to educating people everywhere and exposing the dangers that exist on the devices that we've become tethered to and depend on for so many reasons in our day-to-day life. Welcome to This Week in Malware. On This Week in Malware, we'll be covering Nuvid.com is an adult website that displays potentially harmful advertisements. CVE-2025-29824 is a zero-day vulnerability used in ransomware attacks. And PicoTachyonen mimics legit apps but performs shady tasks in your system. Nuvid.com is an adult website known for displaying a high volume of advertisements, some of which may redirect users to unsafe or malicious websites. These redirects can lead to the installation of unwanted software or attempts to extract personal information from users. The site generates revenue through aggressive advertising tactics, which may compromise user safety. How does Nuvid.com affect you? When visiting Nuvid.com or similar websites, users may experience unwanted redirects. The site may automatically redirect users to suspicious or fake pages without any user interaction. Pop-up advertisements. Frequent pop-ups can be intrusive and may lead to malicious sites. Potential installation of unwanted programs. Through deceptive means, users might inadvertently install potentially unwanted programs, PUPs, that can alter browser settings. How does it reach your system? Nuvid.com related issues often arise from visiting unreliable websites. Accessing sites that run harmful scripts through your browser can lead to unwanted redirects and pop-ups. Software bundling. Downloading free software from unverified sources may include hidden applications that cause pop-ups and redirects associated with Nuvid.com. Potential risk associated with Nuvid.com. Engaging with Nuvid.com can expose users to several possible risks. Privacy concerns. The site may attempt to collect personal information through deceptive means. Security threats. Redirects can lead to malicious websites that host malware or phishing schemes. Recommended actions to protect your system. To mitigate the risks associated with Nuvid.com, run a comprehensive malware scan. Use reputable anti-malware software to detect and remove any threats associated with Nuvid.com. Avoid unverified websites. Refrain from visiting websites known for aggressive advertising or those that prompt unexpected downloads. Be cautious with free software. When downloading free applications, ensure they are from trusted sources and always opt for custom installation to deselect unwanted add-ons. While Nuvid.com offers adult content, its aggressive advertising practices pose certain risks to user privacy and system security. By understanding the potential threats and taking proactive measures, users can protect their systems from unwanted software and maintain a safer browsing experience. On April 8th, 2025, Microsoft released its monthly security updates, addressing over 100 vulnerabilities across various products. Among these, CVE 2025-29824 stands out as a critical zero-day vulnerability that has been actively exploited in ransomware attacks. Understanding CVE 2025-29824, CVE 2025-29824 is an elevation of privilege, vulnerability within the Windows Common Log File System CLFS Driver, a component responsible for managing system and application event logs. This flaw has allowed attackers with initial access to a system to escalate their privileges to the system level, thereby gaining full control over the compromised machine. The vulnerability stems from a use-after-free condition in the CLFS driver, which can be exploited to execute arbitrary code with elevated privileges. Notably, this is the 6th elevation of privilege vulnerability in the CLFS component exploited in the wild since 2022, highlighting a recurring target for attackers. Active exploitation by threat actors. Microsoft has observed active exploitation of CVE-2025-29824 and ransomware campaigns. The Microsoft Threat Intelligence Center, MSTIC, identified that the vulnerability has been leveraged by a threat group designated as Storm 2460 to deploy ransomware known as Pipe Magic. Affected regions include the United States, Spain, Venezuela, and Saudi Arabia. Patch availability and recommendation. Microsoft has released patches for most affected systems as part of the April 2025 Patch Tuesday updates. However, updates for Windows 10, both 32-bit and x64-based systems, are pending release. Microsoft has stated that these updates will be made available as soon as possible and will notify customers accordingly. In the interim, organizations using Windows 10 should implement the following measures: monitor systems, utilize endpoint detection and response EDR tools to monitor for unusual activities related to the CLFS driver. Restrict privileges, limit user privileges to the minimum necessary to reduce the potential impact of exploitation. Network segmentation, segment networks to prevent lateral movement by attackers. Regular backups ensure that critical data is regularly backed up and that backups are stored securely offline. Enhancing organizational security posture. While awaiting the release of pending patches, IT teams are encouraged to reinforce their defense strategies by implementing compensating controls, such as limiting administrative privileges, enhancing endpoint detection capabilities, and isolating high-risk systems. Additionally, user awareness training around phishing and malicious downloads can help prevent initial access that may lead to privilege escalation via this vulnerability. Being informed and prepared should ensure that when the full patch set becomes available, it can be deployed swiftly and effectively, closing the window of opportunity for attackers leveraging this zero-day flaw. CVE 2025-29824 represents a significant threat due to its exploitation in active ransomware campaigns. Organizations must remain vigilant, apply available patches promptly, and implement recommended security measures to mitigate the risk associated with this vulnerability. Staying informed and proactive is key to safeguarding systems against such zero-day exploits. PicoTachyonen is not a typical virus, but rather a term associated with a potentially unwanted program, or PUP, that behaves more like a browser hijacker and adware agent. It affects users by modifying browser settings, redirecting traffic, and introducing ads and unreliable pop-ups into the user's online experience. Despite the unusual name, PicoTachyonen poses certain risks to user privacy and system performance. Once installed, PicoTachyonen typically attaches itself to popular web browsers such as Google Chrome, Mozilla Firefox, or Microsoft Edge. It alters the default homepage, new tab settings, and search engine preferences, often replacing them with a fake or unreliable search tool. From there, it may flood the browsing experience with unwanted content. Fake search results, sponsored links, redirects to unfamiliar websites, and pop-up ads pushing software downloads or fake alerts. PicoTachyonen may also collect user browsing data. It can track user activity such as visited websites, clicked links, search queries, location, device specifications, and even browser and operating system versions. Though it doesn't typically steal personal information directly, the data it gathers may be shared with third-party advertisers or used to deliver more targeted yet still intrusive ads. In the wrong hands, this behavioral data can also be leveraged for phishing or identity theft schemes. This kind of software behavior may disrupt productivity and expose users to harmful or deceptive content. Some of the redirected pages may promote phishing sites, technical support scams, or attempts to trick users into installing other unwanted software, which could range from additional adware to, in the worst case scenario, full-scale Trojans and spyware. PicoTachyonen usually infiltrates systems via software bundling. This occurs when users install free software or pirated content from unofficial websites without customizing the installation settings. By selecting the default or express setup options, they unknowingly give permission for additional programs like PicoTachyonen to be installed alongside the main software. The potentially unwanted program might also come through fake download buttons, deceptive ads, or misleading browser extensions. To remove PicoTachyonen from your system, you should take immediate action. First, uninstall any suspicious applications from the system via the control panel or apps and features menu. Look for recently installed programs you don't recognize or didn't intentionally authorize. Next, reset your web browsers. This involves restoring the home page, default search engine, and new tab settings back to their original state. Most browsers offer a one-click reset option in their settings menus. You should also check for and remove any unknown or suspicious extensions. If your browser does not retain your customizations after the reset, be sure to save them beforehand. After that, perform a full system scan using a reputable anti-malware tool. A trustworthy antivirus program can detect and remove residual components of PicoTachyonen that may be left in system folders, registry entries, or hidden background processes. Finally, as a preventive measure, always choose custom or advanced installation settings when installing free software. Carefully review each step and deselect anything that seems unfamiliar or unnecessary. Avoid downloading files from unreliable websites and keep your browser and security software up to date. All in all, while PicoTachyonen may not be a destructive virus in the traditional sense, its behavior qualifies it as a nuisance and a potential security risk. By modifying browser settings, redirecting traffic, and tracking online behavior, it may expose users to unreliable content and potential cyber threats. The best defense against such issues is a combination of user awareness, good browsing habits, and solid cybersecurity tools.
You know, as I think about the dangers that exist online, not unlike the subjects we learned about in this video, I know I feel a lot better having an anti-malware program like Spy Hunter installed in my PC, providing me the protection I need against malware, and I think you should too. Spy Hunter 5's strongest features are found in its malware repair capabilities. Spy Hunter 5's remediation algorithms dive deep into your system to remove and address complex malware issues affecting PCs today. While many anti-malware products only flag and quarantine malware and ultimately fail to fully remediate the root problem, the Spy Hunter 5 remediation algorithm detects, quarantines, and programmatically repairs malware problems on your PC. Spy Hunter 5 is a powerful PC utility that repairs malware threats in many cases where other competing anti-malware and antivirus programs may fail. To detect and remove malware for free, go to enigmasoftware.com and download Spy Hunter today. Thanks for watching.